So this is not Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast. Given Emmanuel the week off, he had been busy in the Lower Mainland taking all kinds of video for the Prospects game. So we're going to take the weekend off, but here's what happened. We were asked by the Langley crew to do some interviews pre-game, and I did audio interviews. And unfortunately, due to technical issues on the live broadcast, those interviews weren't heard. They are available on replay, but certainly not during the broadcast. So I thought we'd share them anyway, even though they are pre-game interviews, but they were good. I liked them. Good opportunity to talk with the captain of Team KIJHL, Luke Davies from the Kimberley Dynamiters, Luca from the Kamloops Storm, and Berkley Gross from the Creston Valley Thundercats. We'll play those for you in just a few moments' time. Just before we talk about the game, though, just a little bit about the entire event. I thought it was first class. It was basically a 3-day event for the boys. By the time they're picked up and they hit Langley on Sunday night, then Monday was about combine testing. That was really cool, and I think that's one of the real stars of the event each year. I know when you talk with the boys, they get a lot out of that opportunity. For some of them, it's the first time they've done it, and it really lets them know where they stand and what they need to work on. So that was a lot of fun. The dinner on Monday night was great. Had an opportunity to talk with our keynote speaker, Barclay Parnetta, general manager of the Vancouver Giants. He did a great little talk about just what the boys need to do to be ready to make that jump and to give them a lot of credit. A lot of people obviously helped them along the way, but to give them credit, they're there because of the work they put in, which was really special. One of the things that really came out of that, which was cool, was learning that Barclay Parnetta, GM of the WHL Vancouver Giants, is a former Williams Lake Mustang, played in the old Peace Caribou Junior Hockey League years and years ago. If you go into Elite Prospects, it's not there. It is on Hockey DB, but we don't have any stats. But it was interesting at the table listening to him talking about his Williams Lake days and how much he enjoyed playing in the Caribou. And then the Mustangs did a really cool gesture. I'm not sure if everybody knows about this, but on game day, so obviously word got back to Williams Lake. Williams Lake sent a package to the game on Tuesday night, and Barclay Parnetta received a retro Mustangs jersey with his name on the back of it. So pretty cool gesture, and a stick tap to the Williams Lake Mustangs, and in particular Tyrell Lucas for making that happen. I talked with Barclay after the game, and he was thrilled beyond words at the gesture. So let's talk about the game. KIJHL dropping that one 4-1 to the Team PGHL. The KIJHL went in with a game plan. The game plan was to play a physical brand, KIJHL style hockey, and certainly first 5 minutes, that's exactly what they did. At one point, the shots were like 5-2 in favor of the KIJHL in a very physical first couple of minutes. Unfortunately, KIJHL took a penalty. It was a physical type penalty, and the PJHL scored.
Nottingham to Marshall, 15 seconds left of the power play. Nottingham along the right wing boards, battling with Thibault. Marshall's got it now. He'll leave it for Davis. Lucas Davidson, he'll send it past Bodie Bowden, centers and scores! And the PGHL strikes first. It's 1-0.
And once the PGHL got that power play goal, their tails were up, their energy was there, their confidence was there, and they really took over the tempo of the game, and it was really their game at that point. KIJHL had some opportunities, but I really have to give a lot of credit to Team PGHL and their back end. Their defense was spectacular, really not giving the KIJHL too many looks, and certainly keeping them to the outside. There was a couple of good opportunities there late in the first period, I thought, from Kaylin Swanson and Asher Lucas, but they just weren't able to break down that defense and get that synergy the two of them have. But I thought Team PGHL played really, really well. A couple of guys I want to mention. First of all, let's talk about Aaron Zelenik. I don't think Aaron had a spectacular game, but he certainly had a very good game.
Aaron Zelenik up ahead to Rotash, back to Zelenik, and Zelenik into the PGHL zone. Aaron Zelenik, shot, scores! Laser shot from Aaron Zelenik. And the KI KIJHL as a power play goal, and it's 2-1.
And that goal he scored was major junior. That was a beautiful goal. End-to-end rush. Sure, it was on a 5-on-3, but that type of goal could happen anywhere. But an end-to-end rush down that right side, and the shot that he put on goal was a laser. Found the back of the net. Aaron Zelenik, star of the game for the KIJHL. I thought the two goaltenders were wonderful. Brenner Fife, 22 for 24 in the first half of the game. He played really well. The goals that got past him were tough goals. One straight off a face-off win. The puck was in the back of the net before he even set up. And then Michael Mikowski made a couple of brilliant stops, particularly late in the second period when it was still a 2-1 game and the KIJHL was still in it. He made some great stops. Again, couple of really beautiful goals from the PJHL.
A.V. Brown intercepted, and here goes A.V. Brown. He's got some speed. His partial breakaway. A.V. Brown to the backhand. Stop, rebound, scored! A.V. Brown! What a goal!
That one from A.V. Brown, that fourth goal, that was an end-to-end rush down the left side, and I thought Michael got it, but the puck squeezed in, and again, PJHL with a 4-1 victory. Great event. Well hosted by the Langley Trappers, and what a great facility the George Preston Recreation Center is. I just love that layout. So a very good event. And now let's get to those interviews. I've been droning on for forever, but let's get to those interviews. Again, this is not Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast, but we just wanted to get these out. So thank you very much, and we'll be back next week, Emmanuel and myself, on Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast. Again, our pregame interviews that didn't get heard live, but are available on Flow Hockey on the replays. Talking with Luke Davies from the Kimberley Dynamiters. You're wearing the C. We'll talk about your hockey journey, but first let's talk about the C and wearing the C at the Prospects game. What does that mean for you?
It's really exciting, and it's a good opportunity.
Let's talk about you and your hockey journey. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Where'd you play in minor hockey?
I'm from Calgary, Alberta. I played most of my minor hockey with the Northern Alberta Extreme. Loved it there, and they definitely contributed to the player that I am today.
Talk about your season this year with the Nitros. How's it going? Are you happy with where you're progressing?
Yeah, I'm super happy with it. We got a great group of guys. I think we're going to try and take a run at it this year, and I'm really excited to see what we can do.
Your thoughts so far on the Prospects, the whole atmosphere, the combine, the dinner, and the game that's coming up?
Oh, yeah, it's been a great experience. It's really well ran, and I've just had such a blast this weekend.
It's such a short turnaround for you guys as captains. You're named captain, and it's for one game. Talk about how difficult that might be to get the guys all around. What did you do to make this team a unit?
It's tough when you don't know all the guys that you're playing with and you haven't played with them before, but I think just trying to get everyone on the same page and everyone's vibes are good and having a good time, and just let them do their thing. They know what they need to do.
Luke Davies with the Kimberley Dynamiters, the captain of Team KIJHL. Talking with Berkley Gross, one of the alternate captains for Team KIJHL. Berkley, first of all, talk a little bit about your hockey journey. Where did you grow up and play your minor hockey?
I grew up in a small town, so I started with some just house league, and then I moved to unsanctioned hockey in the HSL and JPHL, and now I'm here in the KI.
Yeah. Talk about your season. How's it going with Creston?
It's going great. It's a great dressing room environment, great staff all around, and it's awesome community as well.
Wearing a letter is nothing new to you. You've done it before. Talk about, we were talking with Luke about this, but talk a little bit about how challenging it is to be a captain with such a quick turnaround.
Oh yeah, with only 2 days, there's a lot to do, so just trying to get the boys all gelled together for this game and get the chemistry flowing, it's pretty tough.
And your thoughts so far on the Prospects game, the combine testing, the dinner, and of course the game coming up?
Yeah, it's from what I've seen, the practices have been really high tempo, so this game it's going to be really intense, really fun.
That was Berkley Gross with the Creston Valley Thundercats. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you.
Talking with one of the alternate captains for Team KIJHL from the Kamloops Storm, Luca Demore. Luca, talk a little bit about your hockey journey. Where did you grow up and play your minor hockey?
I was born and raised in Kamloops and played minor hockey Kamloops my whole life and finished with the Thompson Blazers last year. So.
Talk about your season so far with the Storm. Do you like how you're playing?
I think for the most part I'm playing pretty well. We're kind of an up and down team this year, and I think we're still trying to find our stride. But I think kind of turning the corner, having a couple good practices lately. So I think it's coming. I think it's coming through.
And talk a little bit about the experience here at the Prospects game, the combine testing, the dinner, and the game that's coming up.
I think it's been great. All the people kind of around helping, our coaching staff, the WHL Combine guys, and then I think we have a good group on our team, so it's kind of making it a better experience for everybody.
Okay, you've never worn a letter before, so you're wearing a letter this time. You've obviously drawn from previous captains. It is a short turnaround. Talk a little bit about the preparation to be a captain.
Yeah, you know what? It's a great honor to be chosen, and I think I'm just kind of trying to learn from what I've had in the past and from the other captains here who have kind of had that experience in the past. But I think part of it, is just it's just kind of keeping the guys together, because in all, having that letter on your chest means nothing if you're kind of a loser about it. So I think it's just kind of be one of the guys and fit in.
Luca Demora with the Kamloops Storm. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you.
Talking with the head coach of Team KIJHL, Dave Hnatiuk from the Grand Forks Border Bruins. Dave, first of all, talk about the experience so far, the combines testing for the boys, the dinner, and of course the big game. How special is this for them?
Yeah, you know what? I think for most of these guys, it's kind of their first time in a game like this, especially this magnitude. So I think it's kind of been a whirlwind from the time we get together on Zoom calls to the time we come together on the milk run, we call it, picking up guys on the bus along the way here, and we get a quick skate, we get the banquet and the meal. So it all happens really quick, and you know what? I think they've all done a really good job trying to find a few moments to enjoy the experience, and every time we get on the bus, it gets a little louder, which is a good sign. So they're starting to talk a lot more and starting to come together as a team, even though it's been only a few days here. So
when you gear up for a regular season, you've got camps, you've got training camp, you've got weeks and weeks to work with the boys. How challenging is it on such a short turnaround?
For sure. I mean, that's the challenge that we face here, is trying to get these these young guys together. Trying to act as a team in a matter of days. But that's why we do the Zoom calls, is try to get some kind of structure and, have some plays and some zones and kind of have a blanket, I call it, that we can kind of all fall under and have some ideas what we're doing in different zones. And, love to have 2 or 3 more practices, right? But that's not the case. So you do some drills and practice that tie into systems that we want to see in games. And before you know it, practice comes and goes, team picture comes and goes, and here we are, a matter of hours from puck drop.
Talk a little bit about the selection process, because it's not just go down a sheet and pick people. Coaches get together and talk about who's going to be on this club.
Absolutely. Of course, we do have the parameters that we've had previous years where we're looking for the 07s, 08s. So once you kind of get those players selected, then it's a matter of a lot of phone calls with conversations with our coaches and GMs, lots of video time, and then amongst the staff, just a lot of Zoom calls again, weekly Zoom calls, early morning texts and stuff like that, just watching how guys are doing. And it's a small window. Like, we only have 10, 12 games for these players to kind of stand out above from the rest of them. So relying on lots of coaches and GMs, obviously, right? I mean, they see them every day. They see their practice habits. So, yeah, do as much research as we can. A little bit of analytics, a little bit of stats, a little bit of video, and a lot of conversations.
And finally, what do you want these young men to get out of this experience?
You know what? Obviously, I think it's just a great opportunity for them to showcase themselves here today in front of a bunch of Western League teams. Most of our guys on the KI side have been drafted or attended camps or even have played games in the Western League. So hopefully we can propel guys back to the Western League as fast as we can here, and hopefully the Western League can see that we're doing a good job developing players.
Dave Hnatiuk is the head coach of Team KIJHL. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you, Mark. My pleasure.
Just a reminder, this is not Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast. Our thanks this week to Luke Davies from the Kimberley Dynamiters, Luca Demora from the Kamloops Storm, Berkley Gross from the Creston Valley Thundercats, Dave Hnatiuk, head coach from the Grand Forks Border Bruins. Also like to thank the voice of the PJHL Langley Trappers, Andrew Meadwell. And again, a reminder, this is not Top Shelf, the KIJHL podcast, but we will be back with Top Shelf next week with Emmanuel Sequeira and myself, Mark Berry.